Hello people, this is Exiled, aka Lulu the Troll. Yeah, I had to out myself because UniRock was so confused he didn't know who I was, even though I know so many people already knew my identity. People who talk to UniRock. Anyway, you accused me of being Agrippa, UniRock, and that was false, and that's okay. And I think you were just trying to figure it out, or you already knew and you were just waiting for me to say. It doesn't really matter. My alt account is attached to my main account, Exiled. My main account has been around since 2007, and the alt account was given to me in, I think, 2013. 2011, 2013 or so, and has been sitting idle. One night, and the date is on the screen in my video, I was on a stream Steve was holding, and you and Steve were just having a falling out, pretty much getting a divorce at that point. And you were streaming, and Steve was streaming. And I went over on my main account because I don't use sock accounts. Well, I didn't up until the moment I did. And the moment that I first used a sock account, I used the Lulu account. And the first time that I, in my entire history on this internet, ever used a sock account to troll someone, I did it on Steve's live stream while you were having a divorce with Steve. Okay? And I wasn't entirely honest in my trolling, but I knew how to do it. I wanted to get Steve to admit that he had doxed Agrippa. Not Stuart Bunn, no one else, Steve McCray. And I proved that he did do it. And yes, it was on your channel. And now I come to learn that Stuart Bunn had gone to you and told you to remove your video. Okay? So, okay, good job. Good on Stuart. Sorry, Stuart Bunn, that Steve was such a pig that he took the information that someone so kindly gave him on one of his enemies that he had to go ahead and blow it because Steve's a pig. Huh? While I was trolling, and if UniRock would just take the time and step back a bit and actually watch my video from the beginning until the end. It just so happened that in that video, UniRock, AT2 Productions was accusing you of blocking people just for asking a question. And ironically, what had just happened to me, because I asked a civil question or I made a civil comment on Steve's live stream, the very stream that Lulu trolled him on, just 10 or 15 minutes prior, Steve removed my comments and I was blocked or whatever. However you do it. Invisible, blocked, yeah, unceremoniously. There was a witness to this. It's one of my friends was in that live stream too. So what I did is I got on my alt account that's been around since 2013, had no videos, no activity to speak of, and I began trolling him. And if you watch the video, you can see how I did it. I was slightly dishonest. I said UniRock told me, but really it was just that all of the evidence of Steve doxing was on your channel, yeah, because that's where he did the doxing. I don't want to argue with you about the semantics of it or anything, all right? You can check the dates on everything that's on there, almost everything. The trolling that was going on over the summer of 2019 was between Steve McCray and his many fans and your crew, right? Were basically going around calling us Steve McCraters and McCaters and that sort of thing. And I was one of them, yeah. And I was included in this type of harassment, yeah. Not as much by you as I was by Steve. Yeah, he actually took a poll. Who's the worst person in the world? Exiled, Fiona, Holy Spackle, or whatever, yeah. This kind of shit. And a guy that has many, many more followers than me had gone on all summer while I'm arguing with people about the rape apologetics Steve engaged in. Now, right before you had a breakup with Steve, you actually tweeted to me something, UniRock. You tweeted me that I was next. Exiled will now join the list of Steve haters. That really worried me and upset me. It really did. Because I really didn't want to fight with you over rape apologetics at that point, because it had been going on for months. Months and months and months. I will, and I will to this day, defend all of my videos. So feel free to come on over and do whatever it was you were going to do for Steve to me now. That's fine. You and I said our apologies, and I was fine with that. Yeah. So, yeah, the dates are all on this stuff. When I trolled Steve on the Lulu account, I included the AT2 bitching at you in this video because, ironically, Steve and AT2 admitted that they trolled sometimes too. And they were talking about the finer points of what trolls are, or what trolls are this and what trolls are that. So, all right. So that's the history of why I jumped onto that account with no videos, no subscribers, on my channel. The height of the Katie Joy shit that he was doing. The harassment of Katie Joy. And it was sickening. And you had just had a falling out with it. Okay, are we clear up to this point? It would be easier. I know a lot of your mods watched my video and understood it perfectly well. It's not like it's confusing, UniRock. It's not a confusing video. It's very cut and dry. Over the summer, they fucking harassed Agrippa, who was doing nothing but defending me and some of my friends. So I take issue with you. I know at the time you didn't like Agrippa. And I know at the time you're retweeting this stuff. Don't tell me this shit didn't happen. Puddlefits, when he received the DM, when Puddlefits and Stuart were interacting, it was basically as a little joke against Agrippa. And then they flagged him down off of Twitter for doing nothing but calling them names. Biff Bun, Flaff and Bomb. Yeah. Basically putting them on tilt because they're trolls. They run a troll group. You identified it, UniRock. You did. On Twitter, in public, he was making it evident, as were a couple of other people, and they were using his name in creative ways to taunt him, okay? Even Nick Suter did this, yeah? And if you want my opinion, I think probably the reason they had to go find Agrippa's docs that they used to justify this shit was because Agrippa called Nick Suter $400 suitor. And Nick is a very sensitive snowflake about things. Yeah. I mean, Gonna Go For It leaves one comment on his video and it triggers Nick into making accusations that he's a very bad man and shit like that. This is my perception of what happened. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah. You can tell me. You could probably figure it out by asking Stuart and letting us know. What justification did they use to go after Agrippa, who right out there in public trolled the trolls that you exposed, who were following around Cheshire Vic? Good thing that they finally let Stuart go, because Stuart did nothing more than defend you. And, then Stuart learned what kind of an asshole Steve was, right? I have nothing against Stuart Bunn at this point in time. Nothing. Get that straight in your head. The only reason I think that Stuart was kicked out of Demi's group was they were talking about sensitive information in there. I think it was concerning Defango. I could be wrong. And Umancer was not comfortable with Stuart because he had seen my video and had seen the type of activities he engaged in. Umancer doesn't do that type of thing in public. He doesn't go around like teasing people with their docs and shit. Yeah? They don't believe in going after people in their real life, and they're very vocal about freedom of speech and their anonymity. And they think those of us on the internet who are sloppy with our personal information are idiots. So I did not accuse Stuart Bunn of doxing UniRock. Please make a correction immediately. I was quite clear. Stuart Bunn came into play under the part of my video where I was showing further evidence of a campaign to dox Agrippa, which happened over the summer, well into November. Okay, when Agrippa made his post, when Stuart Bunn showed up on Agrippa's professional LinkedIn page, Agrippa was able to see that Stuart Bunn had arrived looking at his LinkedIn page. That's creepy. That's fucked up, right? Because they don't talk to each other. They're like enemies of each other. When Agrippa looked at Stuart Bunn's information, he now knew, yeah, I know something about this person. And Agrippa didn't tag Stuart Bunn. He didn't tag anybody on Twitter. I don't have any hard feelings towards Stuart Bunn or Flaff and Bomb. I actually am friendly with Flaff and Bomb to a certain degree because we've chatted and he's apologized, and we both understand it was a really messed up summer to Agrippa. And please let me know why and how they justified doing that shit, and if they still stand by that. Apparently they do. Apparently Agrippa is a dangerous person. Yeah, this is bullshit, and I highly resent anybody, including Heretic, putting this information out there at this time, because I just don't see the evidence for it.
So I go there. I don't have my gloves on. I go to the 11-minute mark. I have people watch the video again. I watch the video again. Everybody watches the video again. And for the life of us, we cannot figure out how that video made Stuart a doxer. Now, here's the breakdown. We did come to a conclusion. We determined the event in the video that they say makes Stuart a doxer. Also, there was logic inlaid in the video where I become suspect because before this happened, I went live on Periscope. I don't know if that was in the video or not, but it was said. So the action, the thing, the event that they say makes Stuart a doxer is that Stuart said, check your DMs.
Okay, there are 2 times now that I'm recording here that Stuart Bunn said, check your DMs. The first time was when Stuart said to Puddlefits on Twitter, check your DMs, meaning I'm sending you the DMs of all this information we have about Agrippa. That was what he was implying, or whatever. It had to do with Agrippa's docs. Agrippa was watching them, yeah? And they were communicating and teasing Agrippa, ha, we know who you are. Don't tell us this didn't happen, okay? Stuart Bunn knows it did happen, and if this is incorrect, Stuart can correct the record. There's another time where Stuart said, check your DMs. I guess it was to you after fucking Steve, the sloppy pig that he is, docs Agrippa in your live stream with a moderator handle. Yeah? Thank you again for that. But do not try to convince me that Stuart Bunn wasn't fucking with Agrippa about his docs.
So I'll go ahead and do what other people aren't doing for some stupid reason and tell you they must be saying that Stuart went and doxed Agrippa and then sent it to somebody's DM and said, check your DMs. And that was him letting them know, hey, I would say check your DMs. I just doxed somebody, but I don't want to say that because people will get mad at me. Therefore, I will just say check your DMs like a ninja. I'm sneaky. I'm a ninja. I'll never go to jail.
Okay, I'm just going to ignore this part because I'd like to know what that exchange was about. It was between Puddlefits and Stuart Bunn. Only Stuart Bunn can explain what he was talking about there, not you, because Agrippa seems to understand it. You don't, and at the time you were on their side. So let's just ignore this part here.
Likes a guy named CW Chanter. He said he got doxxed. It turned out he didn't get doxxed. He was framing somebody for a dox just for attention. So anybody who gives him attention is basically like, yeah, we know what you'll go through to get attention. Let us give you some attention. Here's some pity attention, you ding dong. Essentially, it is not doxing if Stuart goes into a private conversation with Steve McRae and sits down to talk to him about finding a public Facebook profile that contains Agrippa's name.
Well, so UniRock, are you saying that's what happened? Is that the person who hunted down the docs on Agrippa? Are you telling me that Stuart Bunn was the one who hunted docs on Agrippa and then landed on his LinkedIn page to what? To get more information? Stuart is very quiet. He's the only one who is quiet. And there's a good reason he's quiet, yeah? Because he's hunting docs on somebody who's using an anonymous name. He's not using his real name on Twitter, is he? And he's hunting docs on him. And Agrippa happened to notice this. So are you telling me Stuart was doing all of this and on behalf of Steve and his troll groups? When Stuart Bunn arrived on the LinkedIn, that would be comparable to you listening to Steve in the background, typing out your name and them talking about what dates, what profile they were looking at and that sort of thing. I'm trying to be kind here. I'm sorry if I'm coming off a little harsh, but it's the same damn thing. And I think that's why you're looking uncomfortable to me. We're all willing to just let it go, except for some reason, Heretic now has a problem. I'm actually willing to say that all of us, including Agrippa, don't even care anymore, okay? So we can calm down. The only problem we're having right now is the accusations Heretic is making.
I don't think he ever thought Steve would share the name, but it doesn't make him a doxer.
Again, this is a straw man. I did not say he is a doxer. Huh? I said he was part of a campaign against Agrippa. Campaign to dox. That is how it was explained to me, and that is how it was reported, all right? So we didn't accuse him of being a doxer, but he was throwing around, him and his friends were throwing around docs, liking each other's tweets, retweeting shit about it, yes? Including your stuff. But Agrippa did not deserve it, and I can see no justification. And I think it's really evil, okay, of you guys to be doing this bullshit now, and Heretic is promoting it.
That after Steve put Agrippa's name in my live chat, I talked to Stuart. Why did I talk to Stuart? Anybody paid attention lately? I talked to him because he came to me telling me that Steve did this and told me that it was his opinion I told him the most extreme measure to solve this is to remove the video from the networks. He said, I think you should, just to be nice to the guy. And I was like, fine, okay, whatever. So behind the scenes, the person that they're accusing of doxing Agrippa is the person who came to me, who let me know what the issue was and convinced me to take down my video.
And again, you say it, UniRock. This is why I want you to have complete clarification. Stuart Bunn did not actually publish Agrippa's docs, as far as I know. Yeah? Maybe Agrippa would know if he saw it. He can't have his eyes everywhere all at the same time because they kept flagging him down. He wanted to have his freedom of expression to express how he felt about the Steve McRae gang, yeah, who he was calling sycophants, who we all called sycophants at that time, ball washers and that sort of thing. And this is pretty much all that Agrippa was doing. He wasn't doing anything to maliciously hurt people in their real life like Steve claimed. Thanks.
But what a lot of people do is they look at my YouTube channel views and then they think that's all the views that Uni gets. I get most nights I get just as many views, if not triple or double or quadruple those views on Periscope. Got me? I've shown my Periscope analytics before. I've shown this phenomenon before. It doesn't happen every time, but it happens often that I get more views on Periscope than YouTube before the video ends live. My point is, how do you accuse the guy? Why would he want the videos taken down? Why would Stuart come and let me know? Why?
I might be able to answer this. My hand's raised. Here. I might be able to answer why Stuart did that. Yeah? Because they were fucking harassing Agrippa with his docs. They had his docs. They let him know they had it. So they were silencing him. They were trying to silence him. And Agrippa was flagged down off of Twitter, like I've explained. But then Agrippa, after noticing Stuart Bunn landing on his professional page, come to learn, Agrippa learned a few things about Stuart Bunn. Yes? It's how it works. UniRock, when you're defending yourself from people, okay? What would you do if you were Agrippa? Would you just run away and hide, close down your channel? At the time, Steve actually had a wrench on your channel, as is evidenced in Lulu's video.
Would he care if he's the guy that did this? I 100% know for a fact, and everybody else should too, that Stuart did not agree with Steve doing that, and he stopped supporting Steve because of this kind of behavior. What else are you asking for? It's like you're saying, Stuart changed his mind on Steve. He did his best to fix what he did wrong. I watched him with my own eyes. I heard him talk about this over and over and over. He was genuine about it. He was willing to sit down and talk to people, try to work things out, apologize to people. I did the same thing for things that I did. He did it for things that he did. We didn't have to do those things. We could have just said, fuck all you guys, and just said, who cares? They're trolls and ding-dongs anyway.
Who's a troll and a ding-dong? Who are you calling a troll and a ding-dong, UniRock? Because it seems like everyone is a troll and a ding-dong. You were a troll and a ding-dong at one time, okay? We're all trolls and ding-dongs, okay? Let's get that out of the way. But the fact of the matter is, Agrippa did nothing but defend himself. And he was also defending us. It took you a minute to figure out that Steve was a fucking despicable, evil man. Heretic figured that out before you did. But the thing that we're wrestling with now, UniRock, is that Heretic has cast aspersions on Agrippa and Agrippa's friends and Demi. And that's what we're talking about, okay? Now Heretic is having second thoughts. He thinks that maybe it's unfair that Agrippa defended himself. He's thinking that maybe Agrippa's just a little too clever to defend himself without tagging anybody on Twitter, just letting them know, knock it the fuck off. I know, where you work, and I know you're in your details now too. But Heretic also knows. He knows this. None of us who learned this stuff ever even had Stuart Bunn's information. I don't know anything about Stuart Bunn. I don't look for it. I don't care. Absolutely not. But it put out the warning to these little twats, or at the time were being twats, under the spell of Cheshire Vic or whoever, that it was a good idea to go and dox Agrippa and tease him with it and silence him and then flag him down because he called Nick Suitor $400 suitor. Doesn't matter that there were like 25 of you to, 4 of us. It doesn't matter to you that, You are strawmanning me, and I don't appreciate that. I never said Stuart Bunn was a doxer. He was doc hunting maybe because you almost admitted it here and said that he went to his Facebook page and took information and started spreading it around on Twitter. At least that's what it sounded like you were saying, or someone did. And I just want to know, do you think that's cool? Do you think that's okay? Because I don't. I don't know why we're fighting about this. It seems like you're trying to make things more confusing than they are so that you can take Heretic's side or something. I just don't get it.
I just think that no one in that community appreciates it. I think they don't like YouTube. I think they don't respect the community and they don't like YouTube.
Okay, Uni Rock, I'm going to just stop right here, okay? Because I want you to know, you and Uni Rachel, that it has been very interesting to me watching you process everything in the way that you process it. Okay? I never tried to contact you, to reach out to you, because you seem very busy, and I know how much time and energy it takes to make money for your family. It's not that you're not appreciated. You are. I thanked your crew for coming over and supporting Heretic. Yeah? More and more people were saying, yeah, Steve's an asshole. Yeah. And then more and more people started speaking up. So it took about half a dozen of us, maybe. Here, I'm going to name them. Fiona Robertson, me, Heretic, Nestleague20 made one video, and Dragna made a stream about this rapist guy. Yeah, the rapist. So then we all watched him go after one content creator after another on this stream. Katie Joy was the worst. That was absolute. It was so refreshing when you finally realized what was going on and said fuck you to Steve. All right? But you have a bigger platform than we do. You have more energy than us old people who are tired. Yeah? So we appreciate you and Demi and Nate and ProLib when you guys weighed in and actually started listening to us and watching our videos. I bet you haven't even watched a single one of mine to learn about what we were fighting with and what we were dealing with at the time. So you have no insight into Agrippa. None. Sloppy Steve had to go and dox him on your channel. And I'm sorry you lost that channel. I know you were probably not even paying attention to the live stream. But Steve had a wrench. It happened. And I trolled Steve into almost admitting that he had done it. Ha, ha, ha. And it was the first time I ever trolled anyone on an alternate account. And that is why I kept the account and put content on it, because everybody was mocking me, saying, oh, she's just a troll. She's a troll. She doesn't have evidence. Well, I did have evidence. It's an evidence of Steve doxing Agrippa, and it is also evidence of the campaign to silence him on Twitter that happened over the summer all the way into November. There's screenshots, for fuck's sake. Do not try to convolute this. I will not let it be convoluted. Keep on point. What is Heretic's issue specifically? And let's not go back into the past about Agrippa, because there's no defense. There is no defense for what they did for him. Did to him. It was wrong. Have a nice day, people.
Hello. Here's the thing. I will admit that there are times that I do make trollish comments. However, someone with the experience of UniRock should realize when those comments are made and when to not chomp down on them.
To absorb what we were giving him.
I wasn't trying to hide anything, right? I mean, they knew who I was, but I was trolling them doing. Remember the original Rim and Cokes was to try to troll them, to have them to come over. I'm okay with that. It doesn't make me a troll. It just makes I was fishing for them. I was trolling, literally in the sense of trolling to get one in, to come over and try to argue for flat Earth, because I think it's a fucking idiotic position. That's all. And I think that's a distinction to be made there from what an actual troll is. He's calling you an actual troll, which is just bizarre in my opinion.
Oh, completely, because from what I have noticed of sitting on the sidelines for many things, watching the behavior that goes on, if someone disagrees with a position that he is trying to put forth, whether he calls it his opinion afterwards or not, if someone is speaking against him, trying to correct him on something that he is putting forth, that he does not recognize the name as someone definitive like you or a couple of the other content creators or long time standing people in his chat, his default go-to is, oh, that person's just a troll.
Yep.
He throws out that label
Yeah,
freaking
to minimize the arguments, right? Does he have to?
It has no effect.
Yeah, I get it.
It has no effect coming from him anymore.
Mute the bozo. Friendly fire. I fixed it. Sorry, somebody had meant to hide somebody else. I think they got you. Sorry, my bud. I correct. Yeah, don't. Yeah, I'm assuming it was friendly fire. He's been around very rarely.
Oh yeah, Bozo's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, but I think probably. So Uni says he's out of Steve's camp. Look, I maybe I'm wrong on this, but Uni was getting about 80 to 100 live on his channel. Then all of a sudden, I kind of found him, and then he was getting 400, 500 views. I don't know if I had any influence on that whatsoever, but I don't know what he means by my camp. But I'm just really confused about what the hell.
The only division that I see here that can be considered a camp is one that actually fissured, what was it, 4 years ago now, 4.5 years ago, with a particular group that will not be named because they're not fucking worth it.
Right.
And other than that, everyone is entitled. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion and their own view of things. I will never tell anyone you cannot associate with a particular person. I will say whether or not I do, and if the other person asks why I hold that position, I will explain it. I do not run away from questions. I do not run away from confrontation.
I agree with you.
I do not avoid difficult subjects.
Yeah, I know.
But behavior I have seen, behavior that other people that I have no clue who they are, that have been pointed towards UniRock, from my read, from what I have seen, are valid criticisms.
Yeah,
like yours tonight, where he says stuff that is wrong, people try to correct him, and they are not taken. There is a viewer out there who pretty much watches all of our channels on this side of the house, where UniRock was playing a clip, attributed the two people talking to particular players, but was wrong. The person that was actually in that conversation he was playing was trying to correct him. No, UniRock, that was not this person, it was me. That person ended up being banned as a troll from his live chat.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
For over a month.
Yeah, I'll listen to UniRock regardless because I like what he puts out.
Yeah.
UniRock says he has evidence of me doxing. What?
No.
No, he doesn't.
You know.
Wait. I mean, is this a troll or is this serious?
Who the hell was that?
Yeah.
What the hell?
New YouTube.
Who the hell was that?
Yeah. Is that? Yeah. What the hell are you talking about? I'm curious because again, people try to cause discord. They're like, this person said this, this person said this. And by the way, you guys watching, if you ever hear something that doesn't make sense, question and go, that doesn't sound like this person, because these trolls will tell you one thing and they'll go tell somebody else the exact same thing or something completely different all the fucking time. They won't be consistent, and they do this to try to cause discord.
Oh, Lulu.
I've watched this happen.
Lulu? Oh, yeah. Lulu.
He said receipts.
Don't go with hearsay. Don't go with hearsay. Don't do that.
So Lulu, who did I dox? I'm really curious about this. Who did I dox?
Well, they're saying that someone said that.
Someone said, I don't care about he said, she said, whatever.
Yeah.
What was the name of the person that I doxed, please?
Well, from what I see in the chat, the claim that I see is we have a third party attributing to UniRock making the claim that you have doxed someone.
Ooh.
I don't. The who is a question, and the validity of that coming from UniRock is a question.
Yeah, can we ask UniRock right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I got him on Skype still, so I can ask him.
Yeah. So, let
me change this. Go ahead, and I'm going to ask him right
now. Real quick, what I would like to make sure that UniRock hears from me. I don't hate you. I'm not angry. As I said in the text chat earlier on this live stream, I am disappointed. I expect a measure of integrity from people, and part of displaying integrity is being accepting of and receptive to correction even when you think you are right on the information that you are putting out, listening to other people and getting their views, because even though you think you are right on something, there is still the chance that you are wrong or forgetting something or glossing over an important detail. Someone with integrity in this community will always listen to the criticism and not dismiss it offhand.
Yeah, so I messaged him. I said, who did I dox? Just FYI, people are saying you have receipts. I doxed someone. Who? He's not looking at the type thing.
I don't think so. He said that. I don't think so.
Probably not, but yeah. Someone said.
It's on Lulu. Lulu's not saying he won't admit it. Oh, honey.
Wait. Hang on. What?
Yeah.
What did that Lulu say?
Lulu said he won't admit it, like Uni won't admit it, that he said that he has receipts of you doxing someone. So they're just going round and round in circles.
I don't know what the hell they're talking about, yeah.
They need to present the proof, or they shouldn't say anything like that if they can't present the proof.
Amber says mods are hating bad on Uni. My mods, by the way, they can have their own opinion. I don't control my mods. They're allowed to express what they want, when they want, about whom they want. They're just like anybody else. They have an opinion. They're allowed to express it. I don't give them any fucking guidance on that in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
At all, and I never
will.
I've
told off Steve many times.
I don't know. But she said I prefer Steve at this point. I don't know. Lulu, you have no content. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but you haven't. You might just be reporting on what he's saying, and that'd be fine. But there's no receipts on anything that he's talking about, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's no point of adding that. So, you might be the only witness to it.
That's okay. I don't know.
Don't underestimate trolls. That's racist. Oh, okay. All right, Lulu, come on. You can do better.
Well, is he live right now? Somebody has to be over there, right?
I am. I'm looking at it live.
Lulu, are you okay? Hang on, Lulu, are you in DMix right now? That you can ask him who I doxed. Because I've only been accused of doxing 2 people, and both of them are bullshit. And that was Kyle and Agrippa. And anybody who knows anything about anything knows both those stories are complete bullshit.
Lulu, we need to discount the trolls, because they eat up our precious time.
Why would you time out Lulu? I can't quiz them.
300 seconds. Oh my god, 300 seconds.
Yeah, I can't ask somebody a question if they might be a troll, but I don't know. Okay, I'll take your word for it.
We have had enough
it's
for
whatever. It's cool.
For the night, I guess.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. She's trolling. I will defer to my mods on that one. There's been accusations like I doxed Kyle. Fucking ridiculous. It was an old address and it was on public thing, and I never and Agrippa. People found out who Agrippa was. Somebody on Twitter released his information, but Agrippa can suck a dick. He is a troll, and I think what they did was doxed him to expose him being as a troll, because he was literally going around harming people, and he doxed me, by the way. If anybody, Agrippa tried to dox me by putting my he tried to get a hold of information on me. He found out my bankruptcy and some other stuff, and then he put some kind of medical stuff on my information using my old address. He tried to dox me, and then he's going around saying, well, Steve doxed me. He tried doxing me and he failed, and then other people got a hold of his information and it got out. So, yeah, he could suck a dick.
Yeah.
The streets of Salem were a terrifying sight. The witches dancing with the demons in the night. Their evil minions watch the town while it's in bed. Wish 'em dead, wish 'em dead, wish 'em dead. Old Reverend Paris knew that something was amiss. He felt the evil from a spiritual abyss. He knew the time had come to purify the town. Hunt 'em down, hunt 'em down, hunt 'em down. time was wasted in assembling a squad. This pitchfork army on a mission sent from God. No witch was saved from Reverend Paris's brigade. Their crusade, their crusade, their crusade. Call the magistrate and don't you wait another minute, cause this town is going to hell if we don't put away the sinning. And we got no time to let a jury have their turn. Let 'em burn, let 'em burn, let 'em burn. The damned were crammed into a carriage on the square. Their faces battered and their bodies all were bare. The Reverend led them to an isolated hill. Time to kill, time to kill, time to kill. One by one their necks were snapped beneath the cedar tree. The spirits vanished and the demons all were free. They dug a hole to hold the devilish remains. They were slain, they were slain, they were slain. The town was safe from all those wicked dissidents. They could continue with their life of innocence, dispensing justice from a higher power. They built a church atop the spirits and the bones. Their moans were heard as they were laying down the stones. But the witches got revenge beneath that steeple bell. They cast a spell, sent the Reverend to hell. They cast a spell, sent the Reverend to hell.